What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. We are down here, girl, good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl. What is up, everybody? It's me, and we are down here, girl. Hopefully, this thing is recording. Oh, I just spilled hot coffee on me, girl. So good. What up? What is up? What is everybody doing? It's Saturday. It's Saturday. It's a Saturday. Saturday. It's a Saturday. Yay, yay, yay. Hey, what y'all doing? It's Saturday. I came down here to make a video. Get my video in for the day. You know, I usually do 2 videos a day, but I've been doing bopping and dipping and diving and skipping and falling and skipping and hopping. I've been doing my thing. So I am committing to 1 video a day. I was going to try to make 2 videos today. I think I'll make another video tonight. Because normally I make 10 videos on on the low end of the scale. I make 2 videos a day. Sometimes y'all get an extra video. Yeah, we are going to come the Patreon. I see y'all are over there. Not necessarily. I don't think I have any tiers open to join Patreon, but following me on Patreon. Please go follow me on Patreon because this is the time. This is the hour, but not during Mercury retrograde. So we will be starting after retrograde is finished. And then we will start our Patreon. I think Patreon is going to be more of just like, I feel like I want to have like a free flowing type conversation type situation going on over there. And I think so my lives, I think we'll do lives because that's the path that I'm taking in terms of like my video game and things that I need to conquer and things that badges and things that I need to grab and achieve as I'm on this level. And part of that is going live more. I did go live the other day. Oh, as a matter of fact, let's see what's going on down to the blogs. Let's go ahead because I was going to start talking and
I sponsor the now. Yes. I sponsor the blog. Let me tell you something.
We need to see what's going on down to the blogs. So Keysha Kaior did an interview with Carlos Worship a man king. Worship a straight man king. Let's be clear. Worship a black straight man, even more specific. That's Carlos. Let's love black men. When Keysha Kaior said that she does everything for Gucci. Oh shit, that's so good. I touched on it a little bit. The other day in the video, but I didn't talk about it for too long. But I did say, and I still say that every now and again you'll get a woman who is an influencer or influential in some kind of way come to the front and make these type of proclamations of what a wife should do and what a woman should do for her man. But she literally said out of her mouth that what a relationship is all about is a man needing you, not wanting you. So, like TD Jakes suggests to women, is to create a need for a man. So she basically has created a codependent relationship with Gucci Mane to the point where, out of her own mouth, she says he cannot function without her. I think it's terrible. I think it's terrible advice. I don't even think it was right because I want to keep the money in the house. That's why I do everything. I feel like that is such a backwards way to be, especially if you have resources. And then somebody in the comments was like, we don't talk much about the kids that Keysha Kaior abandoned to be in relationship with Gucci Mane. So I don't know. Apparently she's older than what she says she is. I don't know if somebody is fucking, but I'm hearing a beat. I don't know if it's a drum or if it's a headboard. I don't know. I hopefully y'all don't hear it. Hopefully this mic drowns all that out. But anyways, so she got on Carlos King. He would interview her, and I want you to hear what she says. And like I said, I think it's a signal. It's a signal for women. Like, okay, this is how I picture it. I picture it like you're listening to me, and I have a message of center yourself, put yourself first, prioritize your needs first. Do not center men. Do not prioritize men. If men are in your repertoire, that you, out of 100% of the pie chart, that they only have a sliver, right? 2% is what you give to them, right? Always put yourself first. Mutually beneficial relationships, right? Decentering men. You are the center. Put your oxygen mask on. Put first. Choose yourself before anybody else. Do you understand what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that you're selfish. That means that you are aware that your needs need to be met before, right? Before you do any labor. Hello. But then there's other groups of women that they're listening, right? And they're like, maybe I'm at the verge of changing the mindset of Diva, who is listening and like, you know what, she has a point. I should prioritize myself. I should put my oxygen mask on first. You know what, that actually makes more sense than what I've been doing. And then you get a Keysha Kaior come to the front, or someone like her, right? Come to the front. And it's almost like, I know your eyes are being unwound by this girl with this bad with this bad mouth that cusses too much and drinks coffee and smokes reefer, right? You're listening to her too much. Let me reinforce that it's okay to be a maid, a meal, and a mattress. It's okay to be the wife. It's okay to take care of your man. And that's how relationships should be. Listen to what she says. She sounds, if you are vibrating on a particular frequency, she might sound good. For me, she sounds insane. And the fact that Carlos is like, "Ooh, yes," I'm like, girl, shut the up. Okay, so let's listen to what she has to say.
He'll cook for him. Only thing Gucci got to do is shower. He don't got to do nothing else. I do everything for that man, but not because I have to do it. I want to. I enjoy taking care of him. I enjoy him just being happy and going to the studio and doing music. I don't want him to worry about the bills, worry about what he got to eat, worry about nothing. That man, all he got to do is bathe, child, and go do his shows and go to the studio. That is it. The wife takes care of everything else, and I love doing it. And if I don't do it, I would be miserable.
Why do you think you'd be miserable?
Because I want to take care of my man. I don't want nobody else to do it. I want you to pay so-and-so to do this. The chef, I cook for him. I buy his clothes. I do everything. And I want to keep the money at home.
Maybe.
I want to keep the money in the bank.
Yes.
I invest. I do great investments. So it's like, the thing is, when you have a man, you want that man to need you, not want you. And Gucci needs me. He can't function without me. And that's what you want in a relationship.
Is that what you want in a relationship? For somebody to need you? I don't want nobody to need me. I want the person to have full autonomy and agency over their body. I want them to pick out their own clothes. I want them to manage their own bank accounts. I want them to contribute. It sounds like she is creating someone who is disabled without her, right? She says he can't. That's how a relationship should be. I don't even know if Carlos said anything to negate her statement. I wonder if Carlos believes that a woman should be needed and not wanted. You want your man to need you, not want you. That's the way that's what she said.
I do everything. And I want to keep the money at home.
She said, I want to keep the money at home. So that means that you're not using the money that you make for resource that in order to make your life easy, right? Because that's part of attaining wealth, is you want to make your life easier, right? Have access to different things that if you didn't have money, you like housekeeping. like a chef, right? You do everything. So you're literally you're just reinvesting and keep investing your money. You're not using the money for anything. So what are you using the money? Are you just holding on to the money? You want to keep it in the home? Like, I understand that she may be a great investor. I understand all of that. And I understand her maybe being the person in the relationship who takes care of the finances, right? We make sure the money is managed in the home. I have no problems with those type of roles, right? Where your strength is investing, do, you know, go ahead, go right ahead. If that's your strength, and I've seen the return on the investment. She said he gave her $1 million or $2 million, and she flipped it twice or three times, because she had 2 million and then flipped it twice, and so he came home to $6 million. And you still do everything. You don't want none of his money. You don't want nothing from him. You are a boss in your own right. I always feel like the women come to the front saying this kind of stuff is just it's like when the men come to the front and start pandering to black women. I think I saw a clip, something of somebody saying something about, I think it's Sterling K. Brown came forward about something about his leading women being black women. I haven't heard everything that he said, but whatever. But I feel that that's what happens with Keysha, Kaior, and women like her who come to the front to reiterate and reinforce these harmful things that don't put you first. Women listening to her might have as much resources as she has, but the large majority of them don't. So there's not going to be a situation where a man, in general, where a man is giving you a bunch of money to flip, and you flip it, he goes to jail, and you come back, he comes back to more money. But saying that you're doing all of these things to where he can, that's what I'm focused on. Like, he can't function. He needs you. All he needs to do is bathe when there's word on the street that says that you used to bathe him. I honestly do, like, my brain, it's just a bunch of equations just going, I will never it's not in me. It is part of my mission to serve, but it's not to serve men. It really isn't. And so when I hear women talking about being servants to men, it really bothers me, and I really don't understand. Like, I really get confused to the point where it's like, I don't understand. Like, what are you saying? There's 195 comments on this post. I'm going to read some of your comments and then we're going to move on, because I don't have anything else to say, but you sound like a psychotic fool. Carlos, I want to say his whole name. Carlos Harris says, not Carlos King, okay? A woman like this is who Carlos King loves being friends with, because they both worship men. Exactly. We always say about Carlos King, he loves like even Martell, like even allowing Martell to like still be around male. It's like he has this allegiance to black straight men. I don't know if it's for approval. I don't know if I don't know what it is, but he is always encouraging women in this weird way that, to me, from my perspective, doesn't serve them. Like, even let me clean this. I don't even think this is clean, girl. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Um, Carlos King is a male worshiper. So he, like, that. I always think about that interview with Sherelle and how he kept asking. Sherelle says, Chad and I are not together. I'm in therapy. I'm going through some things. I need to make sure that this is the right thing for me, because he did something that went against what our agreement was. How many times did he ask her to get back with Chad? He even asked her about Chad's dick size, girl. Yeah. Somebody said, I had to stop listening to Carlos. It was so obvious that he upholds the patriarchy just like any other man. Yeah. When she said, I want him to need me, not want me, I almost ran to find a bush to weep in.
It was gone.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really.
Shout out to Kenda. Coco Chantel says, you want a man to need you? Can't function without you? Baby, that's codependency, not love. Simone Smith, this was a funny comment. She said, I honestly would be disgusted if this was another woman. However, I understand her sentiments of liking to make her man feel comfortable, loving, to make him feel like a king when it's reciprocated. I give her a pass specifically because she is successful in her own right. She's done the grinding. She built her own business. She has her own brand. She has her own money. For her, wanting to make your man happy is her job now. And for her, I don't see the issue for her. Unless your life is set up like that, you don't need to have that type of attitude. And so I came back and I said, you heard her say he can't function without her? She said, laughing out loud, no, I didn't. I know you didn't hear that part. I'm like, you hear the part saying like, I want to like be there for my man. I want to make his life easier. Okay, fine. If you want to make some man's life easier in a patriarchy, have at it. Go for it, girl. But when you get to saying that he can't function without you and that he needs you and that's what a relationship is about, him needing you, girl. Essentially, he can go out and buy another appliance if that's the case. He actually doesn't need you. He just finds somebody else to do what you do. Sound like she was running down her resume. I'm a good money manager too. Like she was in an interview. I was like, okay, girl. Somebody said, I keep stopping after the 30-second mark. I had enough. Somebody said, like my mom said, if you do anything, a man will sit back and watch you do everything. He will. I love Keysha, but this isn't the flex you think it is. Number one, I'm sorry. I'm taking it as number one. No one should want to feel needed. That's low vibrational and codependent as well as fuck. Shaking my head. It's Xtina said, not me, girl. Shout out to Funky Danifa. Not me, girl. No, ma'am. I screamed when she said she used to bathe him. I was like, girl, wait till the diva hears this BS. The comprehensive list is taking me out. Yeah, because I put a list of what y'all sign up for. Maid, mule, mattress, manager, medic, maitre d', mechanic, meteorologist, motivational speaker, mother, muse, martyr, messenger, mediator, mentor, mascot, magician, manicurist, marketer, minister, and money manager. She said she manages the money too. She got all the jabs. She got all the octopus arms out. She cooking, managing money. He don't have to do nothing but bathe. But there's something out there that says that you used to bathe him. So I don't know. Maybe you bathing him too. A masseuse. Did I say masseuse? Girl, it's a mess. Let me read a couple more comments and then we're going to move on to the next topic. Because I saw, girl, we'll move on to the next topic. Some more comments. When I first seen this clip, I heard your voice in my mind saying maid, mattress, and mule. Right. This is so hard to listen to. I feel like I need to call my therapist. The fact that she works too, they should be taking care of each other. And Gucci ain't shit to see her working hard to take care of him, birth babies, and also maintain herself and not worry about if she's stressed. She invested his money while he was in prison and came out richer. Her clout elevated him. She should never have to work another day in her life taking care of him. Making sure that he can't function without you is the key component of manipulation and control, right? You know how devastated she would be if he got up and just replaced her with somebody else that can do exactly, because you know how many women out there can do exactly what Keysha Kaior can do exactly that, can flip money, can do everything. All you got to do is find somebody else to do it. You think you're disabling him, but you're not. I never want a man that can't function without me, nor do I want not to function without a man. My husband and I are in an egalitarian relationship where we both want each other, which builds somewhat of a need. The reciprocity is always on the menu. Yes. We love a mutually beneficial, egalitarian relationship. I love those. If I had a rich man, I wouldn't mind doing more, but I'm sure she has help, probably assistant, housekeeper, nanny. She's not scrubbing the floors, tubs, and working 9 to 5. That's what I was telling my husband. Ain't no way. Mascot, Diva, these descriptions are taking me out. I thought about you when I saw this clip. When I heard her say I was having a panic attack, I knew Miss Erica was going to pop. This is absolutely ridiculous. And Gucci is low key slow. You think you can ever leave a man that you do all that for so he doesn't stray? A lot of women. That's part of the thing. If you don't do this, he's gonna leave you. But we see over and over again that that doesn't matter. You can do everything, just like this other clip. Thank y'all for posting me for clipping, not clipping, but tagging me in clips so that I can talk about them. This is another one that I got tagged in. Hold on. I just wanna be a woman. Hold on. This is another clip somebody tagged me in. Let's see, where is it? Okay. Okay, here it is. Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up. I'm gonna have some waffles. Keysha Kaior sound crazy as hell. Okay, this is his We Just Got Here podcast. And this is the post. Let me go to the Instagram post. Okay, let's hear. And it's a girl talking about, I think she's in her early 20s, and she's talking about how from high school into college, she had a boyfriend and she was doing everything for him. And then when he got up, you know what he did? Everybody knows what he did. He wanted to trade her in and even told her that she wasn't wife material and that she was a gold digger, right? This is a woman who grew up with a guy as her boyfriend from high school, helped him out. I want you to listen. This is from We Just Got Here podcast. They're reading a Reddit post or maybe a letter that they got in. Okay, let's hear.
My ex, who's a 26-year-old male, dumped me in January after 9 years together because he didn't think I was wife material. Now he reached out, wanted to talk because he needs to get something off his chest. I don't know why he's doing this or if I should meet him. I am a 27-year-old female. I was with my ex, who I will call Nate. I don't want to go into too much of the details, but the last 9 years, I lost myself to Nate. He was my world. Everything I did was for him. I helped him through depression, helped him keep his grades up, even worked 2 jobs so he could focus on college when his parents disowned him for nearly 3 years because they didn't agree with the major or college he chose. Bear in mind, I was also a college student. When his parents started talking to him again and started to financially support him, we moved into a new apartment. Nate said he wanted me to quit my job. I didn't, because it was his turn to take care of me.
No.
For 16 months, everything was great. He spoiled me. Then I realized he was more interested in his new friends. At times, he ignored me completely. Back in December, he did a 180 and he love bombed me the whole month. On January the 2nd, he made me my favorite dinner and made a speech about me being his first love. How I've been there for him since high school. I kept thinking any minute he's going to ask me to marry him. As the speech went on, my world fell apart. And as much as he tried to sugarcoat it, he basically said, "You were a good girlfriend, but that's what you'll always be to me, a girlfriend. I don't see you as my wife or the mother of my children. Blah, blah, blah. You served your purpose. Now I don't need you anymore. Blah, blah, blah. I need someone on my level. Blah, blah. You're a gold digger. Blah. I'll give you 30 days to move out." Hold on. I couldn't speak, and he stared at me looking for a response. The next day, I waited for him to leave the apartment before I left my room. I then reached out to everyone I knew that wasn't also Nate's friend for a place to stay. My cousin invited me to stay in her spare room for as long as I needed, and I could move in straight away, so that was amazing. I thought by now it'd be a distant memory for Nate. Shockingly, he sent me flowers to my job today for my birthday, which was on Sunday. The flowers came with a card saying, "Dear Cassie, happy belated birthday. I've been thinking about you for nonstop for the last few months, especially with how everything ended. I needed to get something off my chest that I feel will haunt me for the rest of my life if I don't tell you this to your face. But I've no way of contacting you. If it's possible, can we meet up in the near future? Nate. What could he want? What's haunting him that he needs to say it to my face? Everyone in my life is telling me to ignore him, but they also hate him. I'm torn, but I can't lie. My curiosity is telling me to meet him to see what he wants. Has anyone been in my shoes or in Nate? My ex, who's a 26-year-old male.
Yes, there are thousands of women who have been in your shoes, sweetie. And all you have to do is listen to them when they try to tell you what is about to happen in your life, because these men are not operating from any updated version of the playbook, because it works on everybody that they don't even have to update it. One of the things in the playbook is don't listen to older women warn you about us. They are bitter, they are lonely, they are miserable, they are salty, they whatever word that they can come up with. And women fall in line with not believing what other women have to say about men. Thousands of women know, millions of women know exactly what you're going through, sweetheart. And what I would say is his rejection is your protection. That's what you have to understand. You don't want to be a man's wife. Let me tell you something. There is no, literally, and you can't even debate me on this. There's no intrinsic value to being a man's wife. Looking for a husband is a trap. You have to understand when a man says you aren't suitable to be my wife, grab your things and leave. You shouldn't even be looking to be any man's wife, because all you're doing is signing up for what you've already done, is support him when he's down, and when he's up, he trades you in. But if I were to give you that advice, you might say, you're just a bitter woman. You don't have no man. You're salty. You need to heal, all the things that the people say. So I'm going to read a couple of the comments and then we're going to move on and you let me know what you think. Comment from Raven Navarra says, hi, Nate. I'm sorry, but my husband wouldn't like me taking time away from the baby to talk to someone from my past, and block is the only acceptable response. Just because he needs to say it doesn't mean you need to hear it, period. Let him stay haunted for the rest of his life, period. There is only one appropriate reaction to this. Send him a card with 9 words. You told me everything I need to know. Red flag. Red flag. He found out the streets are expensive. Girl, if you look back, you will turn into salt. So the following up, he stalked her to a coffee shop and made her listen to his excuses before finally confessing that he fell in love with a coworker for the last 2 years, but she didn't even like him and reported him to HR if he talked to her outside of the workplace. So now he came back and begged her to be with him again, promised that he will marry her, and suggested they go to couples counseling together. She said no and escaped. Good for her. On my level, why? Because his neck is aching from looking up. Red pill got to him, overestimated him, and now he realized he isn't the high value as the podcast made him feel. You served your purpose. I would never forgive that comment. I can almost guarantee that he left you for someone else. It didn't work out, and now he wants you to revert to your placeholder position until the next one comes along. You're 27. You gave him your 20s. It's time to keep your head up, level up for yourself, and move on, baby girl. The people are in the comments giving. And what's crazy is somebody in the comments the other day is talking about it's not all men, it's just the men you chose. And you can tell millions of women it's just the man you chose. It's really a way to center male innocence rather than the violence that they cause, right? So, I always say it's not all men, but it's always some men, and that not all of the men are not loud enough because they are still protecting the patriarchy and the brotherhood. right? And if it were truly not all men, then the good ones would be the loudest condemning the violence, but they're mostly silent, right? Right. And then when we say all men, we're not talking about an individual. We're talking about a socialization, how these men have leaned into their socialization, how to relate to women, and how they relate to women is very off, and women are finding that out, right? And if millions of women, like somebody said it the other day, like every woman knows a woman who has been raped, but no man knows a rapist. I know more than one woman who has been raped. But if you turn around and ask these men, they don't know no rapist, honey. They don't. What you talking about? What you talking about? It's a collective issue. It's not about isolated cases, and that's why men try to other themselves. And then there was this story. I'm going to move on, and I'm glad that this girl got the help that she needed. But I said, what did I say? Usually they put your comment at the top as a way. I said he actually saved her. His rejection was her protection. Someone please tell her that. There's never and will never be an intrinsic value in being a quote man's wife. So when a man rejects you, please see that as a message of protection and get your things and leave. And finally, don't look for husbands. That's a trap. One other lady says, run. No man who says you aren't wife material or the mother of my children will ever be the man you want them to be. Run. Don't look back. Find the actual love of your life. This man isn't it. He's manipulating you to get you back. Nah, queen, leave him on red, beloved. He's there to drain you again and try to steal your joy. When someone shows you who they are, believe them and leave them alone forever, right? But if she comes from a space where they tell her to continue toxic relationships with her caregivers and parental guides and relatives, then she's likely to go back to that. Do you see how that works? Do you see how that can negatively affect your life by in aspect of your life where they're reiterating you continue relationships with people who have harmed you, that you will go back to a man who left you after you've been with him since high school, left you for somebody else, realized that she didn't fucking like him at all. He was actually going on what he thought. He thought he came up. She had to call HR on him. So you're dealing with a man who's a stalker now. Now he's revealed to you that he has stalked somebody. HR got a hold of him and told him, don't interact with this woman unless it's at work. What's wrong with you? And now he wants to come back to you. No, you will never have access to me. And not only that, you shouldn't be sad when a man says you're not wife material. Who wants to be wife material? What the fuck is a wife? And what do you think a wife is supposed to do? What is wife material? A goddamn Keysha Kaior, a maid, a mule, and a mattress. But you see how she did all that for him and he still left her ass? That happens all of the time. And for people who say it's not all men, I just have another story I can go to about what's happening in India. And I'm going to let you hear this story. I'm going to read a couple of more comments. Shout out to the Black Hippie. She tags me in a lot of really good clips that I would have not seen otherwise or may have seen later, right? Unpopular opinion, go meet him just because you are curious. Make it a very public place like a diner and don't go alone. Another comment says, don't go, avoid him. He wants to check if he still has access to you. And this is the reason why you should listen to some women, not women like Keysha Kaior. But to me, I feel like if you ever get advice from a person and they're telling you to not prioritize yourself in the situation, they're not giving you good advice. Any person telling you to prioritize a man over your own needs is not giving you good advice. And you will feel it in your body. You'll be like, that don't sound right. If anybody is giving you advice where you abandon yourself, abandon your boundaries, they're not giving you good advice ever. He was cheating on you, love. He thought he found a real one who convinced him that you weren't it. And then at some point he realized he fucked up. No, he was stalking someone, actually. That's what the update says. Time is precious. Don't waste it again. You owe yourself some respect. Leave that past in the past and forget him. So I'm glad that she's getting that type of advice, but not taking advice from women who have decentralized men. You are told that we're bitter, we're this, we're that, we're trauma, we have trauma and all this other shit. Girl, go away from me with this. You ain't shit. That's what the bottom line is. And everybody can spot your shit from a mile away. And that's why when you're on the road, your solo journey, and you're meeting people along the way, and you come to the level where a woman is telling you, hey, don't be a maid, don't be a mule, don't be a mattress, right? You don't have to sit here for the whole time. You can hear the message and be gone. But don't allow anybody to tell you don't listen to that person because they're bitter or they're this and they're that. That is a way to get you not to listen. And then you end up making the mistake that you could have avoided if you listened, right? I used to tell my students all the time, they're adult learners, but I used to tell them all the time, I cannot tell you my experiences and expect you to learn from them. Sometimes you are going to have to experience it yourself in order to learn the lesson, right? Some people learn by watching other people's mistakes, and they're like, oh, I'm not going down that way. I've seen what happened to the women who take that route. I'm not taking that route. I'll choose another route. While that other route may not be the best, but I'm not taking that one because I have seen women come out of that path and they look terrible. They look depleted. They are overweight. They're out of shape. They're mentally broken down, physically, financially. They look a mess. So I'm not going that way. Some women are like, bitch, you jealous. You just want my life. You mad because you ain't got a man. I told a woman to shove her man's dick in her mouth and show him how much she really cares, because you're obviously a dick worshiping, dick gobbling woman. Throwing dicks. Like there's some value there. Girl, you better duck. When they start throwing dicks, duck. Don't catch a dick. Don't catch a dick. Even Brittney Renner and Masika were going back and forth about doing things for a man. That man had you doing a religion and blah, blah, blah. Y'all do all kind of shit for men. Y'all actually permanently change your bodies to attract men. I'm so glad Brittney Renner told her even a one-eyed nigga didn't see the value in you, bitch. These are pick-me's talking back and forth. So they're always going to be throwing dicks. Pick-me's put themselves in pretzels for men. Look at Shawnee O'Neal. She went from a nigga, a fuck nigga carrying a basketball to a fuck nigga carrying a Bible, and turned herself into a pretzel to be a little. Ooh, when I see Shawnee's face and imagine her as a first lady and the way that she acts with the women on Basketball Wives, can you imagine? She's probably not so far off as Giselle Bryant at when she was a first lady. I'm so glad that they went back and forth, because Masika acting like you changed your religion to get a man. You did this for men. The shit y'all do for men, religion is just one part of the equation. How many women do you know who have been influenced to follow a particular religion because of a man? While I was practicing Islam, the boy's father was an influence to continue to practice. He was, right? I met someone at the time where I was studying, I've studied multiple religions. Hello. And that's why I said to Masika, girl, how narrow-minded are you? You worship the same Father God. Girl, y'all both practicing Father God religions. You're no different. You're fucking two rocks from the same earth, bitch. You are no different. And the things you've done for the attention of men, we don't want to. And maybe it wasn't religion, but you have done some things. You have bend yourself into a pretzel for a man in some way, Masika. I can guarantee it. Her and Brittney Renner going back and forth. Girl, please. So I want you to hear this other story about what's happening in India. Hold on. This one is about 5 minutes. I'm only going to play a portion of it. I kind of want to go to the post, but hold on. Let me see if I can go to the post. I downloaded it because I have like a choppy internet connection. And so I downloaded it. So I want you to hear.
Bodies of hundreds of women who were raped and murdered over years being buried in the very popular pilgrimage town of Dharamsthala in Karnataka have actually sent shockwaves across the nation. A former sanitation worker on the payroll of the temple administration has made a lot of startling revelations. Take a look at this news.
A whistleblower has blown the lid off alleged mass burials that took place in Dharamsthala, a temple town in Karnataka. On the 11th of July, a masked man appeared before the Beltangadi court in Dakshin Kannada district. He recorded a statement under section 183 of the BNS in front of the magistrate and claimed that he was a sanitation worker under the Dharamsthala Gram Panchayat for 19 years. And in that period between 1995 and 2014, he claimed to have buried or burnt hundreds of bodies in Dharamsthala. Most of these bodies were of girls and women, possible victims of sexual assault, according to him. He also alleged that he disposed those bodies on the orders of the Dharamsthala temple administration. Before recording his statement in front of the magistrate, this former employee had written a complaint to the SSP of Dakshin Kannada district on the 4th of July. In the complaint, he said while cleaning the Netravati river area, he started finding bodies, mostly women, some of whom appeared to have been allegedly raped and murdered. Many were found without clothes, bearing signs of violence. When he refused to obey, the complaint said that he was beaten and threatened. The worker said he was forced to bury bodies at various sites, sometimes even burn them using diesel. He named several influential individuals in his complaint. Along with the complaint, he handed over a sack containing a human skull to the police, claiming that it belonged to one of his victims. In his letter, the whistleblower claimed that he fled town fearing that his family would meet the same fate. For the past 11 years, he lived in neighboring states of Karnataka. The police have registered an FIR, but are yet to start a probe.
That individual, whoever has given a complaint, he has made a statement, 164 statement, we call it. So once the magistrate is convinced that something has of this nature has happened, they will instruct, the magistrate will instruct the police to investigate. So we are waiting for that, instructions from the magistrate.
Hundreds were allegedly raped and killed at a temple. Former insider claims he helped bury the bodies of women and children who have appeared to be AR'd or murdered, physical signs of violence. And I'm going to read you the comment that I made, and I want you to hear the men show themselves. Not all of them, it's not all of us. But what do I say? If you're in a digital space and you hear men saying, not all of us, women, not all men, in the 3 comments in an exchange, they will show you that they are part of the some, right? It's not all men, it's some men. And in some cases, it's most men. When people tell you it's not all men, what they're trying to do is take away and reinforce that men are innocent. Men are innocent, and deflecting from the global issue, how women and children are treated by men. Yes, women can be monsters. We talked about a monster named Jackie Christie the other day. But this is an epidemic and a global issue. Your natural protectors and providers are killing women, raping women, harming children, raping children, murdering children. I said, and y'all want women to respect men. Do you know that a man came back in the comments and said to me, hold on, I'm gonna find his comment, because he deleted it after I responded to him. He said, either respect them or end up like these women. Pick your poison. And I said to him, any man who thinks because he's a man he can kill me, I will eat him alive. Then he came back and put, and then deleted his comment. Right. I will eat you. You talking about a man eater? Someone else said, stop birthing males. We have 4 billion, no more. Instead of saying stop birthing males, why don't you say stop having sex with men? But we don't, that's not, y'all not ready to talk about that. Someone said, another man said, take your trauma to a therapist. And I told him, take your dick to a guillotine. Right. Someone says, women never do anything wrong, huh? I said, absolutely. Women do a lot of wrong. And part of what women do wrong is trusting men and partnering with men. Hello? Oh, okay. The comments on this post are so disgusting, and it only reiterates and reinforces and reaffirms how I feel about them. Take your trauma to a therapist. What? Trauma? But who caused the trauma? Who caused the trauma? It's once again blaming you for even deciding to trust men or to be in community with them. They blame you because they know a person with a brain thinking would not be in community with us. We're harmful people. The closer you get to us, we will harm you. But studies and studies and studies can, and research and statistics can come out, and the women still desire to be in proximity with their apex predator. I don't know what else to say, and I don't know what else to do but to keep defending women, keep speaking up for women, keep trying to explain to women the way that men show up in society and show them examples. This idea to stop birthing males is asinine. Why don't you change the way that men are socialized to relate to women? Why don't you do that instead of just saying, well, let's kill them, right? Let's kill them. Right? Why don't you try to make a society where you dismantle patriarchy, where you dismantle the hierarchy and this idea that men come before women? Why don't you stop that? No, you don't want to stop that. Then you want there to be an excuse, a cop out, a scapegoat. Hold on. Let me find some more of those comments. And then we're going to go. Women and girls go through so much on this earth. Not all men, but always a man. Mind you, these are religious people. Women and children aren't safe anywhere. What the hell is going on in the world? I'm starting to think the earth is literally hell. And the only reason why you think it's hell is because it's being ran by men. Right? And I want you also to hear this. You know, I always say men are not natural protectors and providers. Women are the divine protectors and providers, not of men, but of women and children. Men are not your protectors or your provider. A penis doesn't give them that right. Wake up from the illusions and deceptions of this 3D world. And I posted this on October 16th, 2023. And I want you to hear this woman's explanation of men not being natural protectors and providers, and then we're going to leave.
Naturally providers nor protectors. Men are not naturally providers nor protectors. I mean, if they were, everyone in the world would have what they needed. Men control most of the wealth. Men control most of the public policy decisions. We wouldn't have war. Everyone would have enough food if men were naturally providers and protectors. It's never been a secret to me. It's always given, like my nephew who puts on a cape and says, I'm Batman. You know, being a provider and protector is not something you are just because you declare it so. Provision and protection are human traits and skills that fall under moral courage. Moral courage is something you possess after you've practiced it. Human skills, which aren't gendered, they're human, but I can see the intention in many people that they want to be those things. These larger things of moral courage, provision and protection, are actually held up by foundational skills that you actually need to practice. What are those skills? Listening. If you want to be a good provider and protector, you need to be a good listener. Curiosity. If you want to be a good provider and protector, you need to practice the skill of cultivating curiosity. If you want to be a good provider and protector, you have to be practicing the skill of humility. You have to be practicing the skill of connection. How to connect to others, how to connect to yourself. If you're not listening and paying attention, you won't even know what it means or what is required to provide and protect for those around you. Once again, this is for everyone. This isn't gendered. This is something all humans can practice and should practice if we're going to be good community members. Just to give you an example, I'm married.
Because emotions are not gendered, right? And you have female emotions. Girl, shut the fuck up. Didn't Agent Cheyenne Bryant say It's because he's acting like a woman. That's where the imbalance comes in. Instead of approaching it by saying, we embody both feminine and masculine aspects because we are both. We are both. We are extensions of God. I don't understand why people don't understand that. So God is all and none, both at the same time. Masculine and feminine. Masculine is not a trait that is only embodied and demonstrated by people with penises. That doesn't make sense. Being feminine doesn't have anything to do with your possession of a uterus or a vagina. It has nothing to do with that. Those are character traits, attributes that come along with that have been passed down for thousands of years. Your emotions are not gendered. None of this stuff that as it relates to gender is real. It's not real. So men believing that they are natural protectors because some fucking weird Aesop book of fables told them that they're natural protectors and providers. They are not, because if they were, the world wouldn't seem like hell.
I share a lot about how my marriage has transformed, how we are stronger as a couple now. But years ago, when I first started sharing, our marriage was not good. And here's the thing. My husband really wanted to be a good provider and protector, but he wasn't. But it's not because he wasn't trying. He was working really hard, in fact. But because he was a bad listener and because he wasn't paying attention, all of the actions he was doing were almost entirely useless. Because he wasn't really addressing the provision and protection of the needs of people around him. He had simply made a list in his own head of what he thought provision and protection should be, and then worked really hard at that, regardless of what was really going on in his life. So it's terribly sad, because he was exhausting himself in an effort to do something he thought was good and neglecting all of these other spaces in his life, which would have been more effective provision and protection for the people that he loved. I think a lot of people think they're just going to be thrown into a situation where they're just going to suddenly decide to be the thing the moment needs, the hero. But you do not just show up and suddenly become a person who is capable of large, grand, and even small acts of moral courage. You are practicing that type of person every day. That's how you rise to the challenges of the moment. You've been practicing in other moments. Don't get me wrong, I wish men were naturally providers and protectors. Like, the world could really use it.
And the truth is that they're not. Anybody telling you that men are natural protectors and providers is lying to you. The church that you probably are going to go to tomorrow, that's going to reiterate this male hierarchy, is lying to you. They're just reinforcing. You don't find it odd that men were the only ones being able to give the word of God? Like, what? But then you come, and then you also have to accept that you come from somebody's rib, and they're natural protectors and providers. But studies show the closer you get to them, the more the more of a danger and detriment to your entire life becomes. The closer you get to them. There are so many studies that say the most dangerous place for a woman is in her home if a man lives there. Masika and Brittney Renner going back and forth, throwing dicks, talking about you change yourself for a man. Bitch, what you do for a man? I'm sure you done laid on the table and got your body filleted for a man. I'm sure of it. I'm almost positive you have. I can bet on it. I can bet your lisp on it, Masika. Let's go to the post. She thinks it's funny. Okay, let's see replies. Let me see, because I want to get to the thread of her and Brittney going back and forth. And then she tagged Kevin Gates. That's cute. It says a deadbeat mom who never has her son. Okay, here she goes. Masika says, since we're on the topic, the way Brittney played with them people's religion. Who are those people, you xenophobe? Who are those people? you know the Islam is practiced by Asians, blacks, Latinos, whites. Islam is practiced by a multitude of people. So because it's like literally the second most practiced religion in the on the globe. So when are you talking about them peoples, right? The way that Brittney played with them people's religion to become that man's other wife is crazy. He took off and she took off them people's clothes. I said, what's wild is I wonder if Masika is so narrow-minded that she has never even thought about practicing another religion or studying another religion. I wonder. You both are and were practicing Father God religion. You're literally no different than her, than peoples. Brittney Renner came back and says baby mama number 3, who faked a kidnapping to promote her irrelevant OF. OnlyFans is what OF is, if you don't know. Since we're on the topic, religion is not exclusive. I never signed up to be one of several. People are allowed to change their minds, and plenty of relationships aren't meant to be, but not meant to last. By 40 and fried. You will be 40 one day too, Brittney. So just keep that in mind if you're lucky, right? Go to hell. Oh, wait, everybody's speaking the same truth about you, but you mad at me. Bringing up irrelevant deflections don't change the fact that you played with God for dick. And what have you done for dick? What have you played with for dick? Have you played with your body? Have you changed your body in order to be attractive and desirable for men? Have you started following some particular sporting team in order to be able to relate to your man in some way? You've done a lot for dick. I'm sure of it. Next week, you're going to be Buddhist for back shots, Christian for Christian Dior. Girl, shut the fuck up and go pray. Brittney came back and said, too much. You must have had time today since nobody paid $4.99 to unlock an exclusive video of you losing your dildo and your gaping butthole on your OnlyFans. I haven't seen or heard about you in so long that I actually thought you really got kidnapped. You've got some nerve chiming in live at 5 from your living room, you drowsy-eyed dog-faced dingbat. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, alliteration. You and everyone else who wants my pussy and don't know how to ask for it, stay worried about what I do with it. Yet you couldn't even convince a nigga with one fucking eye to see your motherfucking value. Girl. Shout out to your cooch for keeping you booked and busy in another bitch's business, you bitter bum. But I'll tell you, Brittney comes with the alliterations, do she? Lifestyle of a bored and brainless, I suppose. Lastly, enjoy the Basketball Wives season finale next week, you withering wench. And take your misplaced frustration up with Mona for cutting them love and hip hop checks off. Geriatric, gnarled finger, giddy for a reply ass gnat. Ooh, Brittney is good with her alliterations. I can't even front. I love a bitch and get a bitch together with alliteration. Now back to being utterly forgettable. You go, flunky. She comes back and says, ho, 304. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is reading that think piece. My OnlyFans is for a stock market club. You should join since you went broke for Islam. You fucked Charleston White on a podcast. It's Friday with that nasty twat. Dust off that hijab and go to the mosque. Let me see if Brittney responded after that. Hold on, let me go to her page. Yeah, that's one of her last replies. Yeah, that's one of her last replies to her. Women do so much for men. Religion is only part of it. How many of y'all go to church to meet a man? I'm going to church to meet a man. Look at what's her name? What's her name? B. Simone. She playing with religion to find a man because they figure, girl, these men they ain't giving me no chance. Maybe Jesus will give me. Maybe that man will give me a chance, girl. I want one bum that has ever tried to tongue wrestle with me to open her banking app on live. Let's play big bank, take little bank, skank. So she said, I dropped out of college. I don't read essays, bitch. I'm rich. So you don't read? Okay. About to break your thumbs writing a fiction novel. Got your hijab in a bunch. See, she wants to be able to talk shit about her, right? While a Jesus piece is probably choking your ass to death. See, I don't like shit like that because y'all do stuff for men every fucking single day. every day. Y'all compromise yourself for men every fucking day. Religion is only one part of that. Every day. Go get you got your hijab in a bunch. You're a big fan. Been one. She tags Kevin Gates. Please take this heathen back so she can cover up and shut the fuck up. We want clothes. We want clothes, a closed mouth and legs. Try Jesus before you try me. Amen. Making fun of someone's disability you will literally change religions for again to get attention from will never be a read. My baby daddy loved me and I know you can't relate. Ugh. The only thing lower than lowering your pants after taking off that butt musty hijab is using a disability because you got ate the fuck up. Oh, she must have came for her lisp. Let me see, because they're not tagging each other. They're still talking shit, but they're not tagging each other. Hold on, let me go to Brittney Renner's page and see if she's talking shit about her lisp. Girl, you came for my hijab. I'm coming for that lisp. I'm going to pull on that tongue. You want to pull on this hijab? I'm going to pull on that tongue. That juicy tongue, girl. Let's pull on it. I can't believe she tagged Kevin Gates, but I actually can believe it. Because they're pick-me's throwing dicks back and forth. Let's see if Brittney said anything else. No, she hasn't said anything else, but she stayed talking to her and not tagging her. Y'all do so much shit for men. You get the fuck out of here, girl. I'm sure you didn't set up, you didn't lay it on the table for a man. Team Jesus, girl. Give me a break. That's what she has in her bio. # Team Jesus. Anyways, I think I've talked enough about what's going on in the world today. I'm going to come back later for another video. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.